What's good, y'all, man? So, major news today broke earlier from Alex Farrar of Rivals. Georgia Tech lands two guys. First up, Courtney Heard. Tech also landed his twin, Courtlin Heard, as well. Now, Courtland is the bigger of the two. He's 6'7", 330-pound offensive tackle. He's a three-star prospect, according to On 3. But when you watch his film, man, you see in a guy that's a mover, right? A guy that can get out in the open space and block for your running back on screens, your receiver on screens. And you see in the guy that can really be an offensive anchor, right? So that is what he can do. Now, Courtney is similar kind of thing. He's a little bit smaller, but still very big in stature and size at 6'6", 290 pounds. Also a three-star prospect. And like I said, what was key here is he chose Georgia Tech, another in-state win for them, over Georgia, over Florida State, over Florida. That is what you want to see because he revealed his top four back in May. So the fact that Georgia Tech was able to beat out these type of teams was huge. Now, I'll be real with y'all. I did not hear a lot about this in this buzz. I know they're going after major offensive line prospects, obviously, for this class. Zachary Lewis, who recently just got a crystal ball, obviously, to Georgia. He was on campus last week. Trey Aikens, another one. They've been recruiting this position very, very hard. But nonetheless, these are two really good guys. And it's going to fly under the radar because they're not heavily recruited. When I say heavily recruited, I mean in terms of their ranking on 247 or anything like that, right? Again, they're three-star, process. But that does not mean that they can't be high-end guys at the next level. I think Coach G. Wade said, hey, I see their size. I know what I can do on the offensive line. I know how I can develop guys. Let's bring them in. You know what I'm saying? And let's develop them. You can't, because to be real with y'all, you just cannot change that kind of size, right? They don't grow on trees every day. 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", as an offensive line position. Yes, you're not going to be as mobile as other positions, but you got two staples positions for your offensive line. Now you can work on building your interior of your offensive line. Obviously it's going to be a big position group to watch for Georgia Tech this year. But now you can be like, okay, let's go get three guys on the interior offensive line for us to kind of fill out this group pretty much. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of what happens here, what they're going to obviously decide on how they're going to fill out the rest of the class. But now they're up to 9 recruits. And it's pretty solid, as I said in the story, right? Every guy on that recruiting list is ranked. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's Rivals, 247, on 3, or ESPN, they're all ranked. And 8 out of the 9 guys are from Georgia, right? And remember, Georgia Tech used to struggle recruiting in the state. They're not having that problem anymore. And then they're going to kick off their 7-on-7 this upcoming week as well for the next 6 days, right? There'll be 3 this week, 3 obviously that following week. So this is huge if you're a Yellow Jackets fan. Again, it ain't a 4-star prospect, it ain't a 5-star prospect, but these are solid guys that can be developed and that can hold down the offensive fort for you as you build and develop for the next upcoming group, the next gen. As Haynes King exit after this year, and you bring in Aaron Fowler, you got to get guys that can protect him. A 6'6", 6'7", ain't a bad way to go, to be honest, man. So solid pickup. I give this a B+ get for the Yellow Jackets. It's going to fly under the radar, but guys that can be developed by offensive line coach G. Wade and be really good prospects in the future.